My dear students of first year, so after many days we are having a ray of hope, and the hope is that very soon our school, our college will going to be opened, and it has been instructed by the educational department, Director General of Education Mahushi, that very soon the school college will be opened up, and again hopefully our college will be a big bustling place with the talking of the people, with the teachers, and it's going to be a great assembly of many students of both first year and second year. So I think the college life is coming back to us, and we are waiting eagerly for that day to come. So without wasting our time today, I am going to unveil the mystery of one very important lesson, very important unit, I had better say, as I have written just on the top of the board, greatest scientific achievements of this century. Okay, so we are going to discuss on only two items, the artificial heart and cell phone. As you have already known, it's going to be unit 2, lesson 1, and it is very important for you to take up a very handsome preparation, very good preparation of this unit and lesson, greatest scientific achievements. Lots of questions may happen from this particular unit, and that is why you need to focus on this unit, this lesson, and you need to pay your full attention on this lesson. So I believe that you are ready with your English for Today book, and please, if you have book with it in your hand, so please open your book and uncap your pen. Okay, so I think you are ready. So without wasting time, first I would like to start my lesson by asking some 3 basic questions. What advantages has technology brought to our everyday life? This is my first question. What technology, what advantages has been brought by the technology? You know already that technology is the mainstream, is the main element of our day-to-day life, because technology has given us a lot. The mobile phone, the electric fields, the automobiles, all things actually are including the lots of items in medical science, in agriculture. So if we cast our eyes to every aspect of our daily life, what will we see? We see the wonder of modern science. So that's why modern science has changed our life a lot. It has brought about a dynamic change. So the advantage of modern technology in our everyday life, I think it is unlimited, it is immense. Second question, how do science and technology make life better? Obviously, science and technology has made our life better. Okay, take an example of using mobile phone. With the help of mobile phone, you can communicate with any people in the world within a second, within a fraction of a second, I had better say. So what is your opinion are some of the greatest scientific achievements so far? So far I think science has already given a lot to us. One after another inventions, discoveries are coming are being added to our daily life situation every now and then. So mobile phone, calculator, computer technology, okay, satellite channels, and in medical science the introduction of many new diagnosis tools. I think all these things are very important as scientific discovery that has been happened in the recent time. Okay, hybrid crops, hybrid hens, cocks, hybrid fishes, everything. I think in agriculture science has revolutionized. So same is the case for here. So now I am going to read out the passage. Okay, so unit 2, lesson 1, some greatest scientific achievements of last 50 years. Some of the greatest scientific achievements of the last 50 years. Well, let us try to follow our textbook. Okay, I am reading the textbook line by line. We human beings tend to forget how far we have come as a species in a relatively short period of time. Well, আমরা কতটুকু অগ্রসর হতে পেরেছি অল্প সময়ের মধ্যে? আমরা ভাবতেই পারি না, আমরা ভুলেই যাই। It was only in the 1980s when we had the first house that was lighted with electricity. Cars had just started to become available 100 years ago. Charles Lindbergh made the first transatlantic flight in 1927. Television didn't become widely available until after World War II. In other words, the advantages humankind has made in a relatively short period of time have been nothing short of extraordinary. Perhaps just an extraordinary is how we tend to simply adapt to these incredible changes, not realizing how completely our world has been altered in a short span of time. With that in mind, it is worth looking back at some of the amazing scientific advances we have made in the last few decades. The artificial heart, there is nothing that piques means what? Jagiye tola, that piques the interest of human being quite as much as the prospect of living a longer life. Implanting a person with an artificial heart in 1982 was an extraordinary step towards increasing the human lifespan. A Seattle-based dentist, Dr. Barney Clark, was the first person implanted with the Jarvik 7, an artificial heart intended to last a lifetime. The Jarvik 7 artificial heart was designed by Dr. Robert Jarvik. Though the patient survived 112 days, it was a huge step towards the development of heart transplant surgery. One day, more advanced version of artificial organs will likely allow us to live much longer and more productive lives. When we get there, we will owe a lot to Robert Jarvik's heart. Okay, so we have read about what artificial heart is. So science has given artificial heart. This is very important. When a person loses his heart, he is nothing but a lump of flesh, and his bodily existence cannot be thought of without the presence of heart. So science has given us a heart. So I believe you will again read this passage in your home and try your level best to understand the meaning of it. In my later class, okay, in my coming class, that means the class will be held perhaps day after tomorrow, and then I will be discussing in detail about what artificial heart and what are the possible difficult vocabularies used in that particular passage, particular extract. So come to cell phone. Cell phone, perhaps phones have been around since the late 80s, late 80s. But cell phones made their appearances only in the 1990s. Today, by some estimates, more than 100 million people in Bangladesh and more than 4.6 billion people worldwide have mobile phones. Everything that is useful and spreads so fast to be considered one of the greatest inventions of all time. Just 2 decades ago in Bangladesh, even landlines were difficult to obtain, let alone mobile phone. Today, people from all strata use cell phone, from street vendors to business executives in the luxury cars, and from villagers to urbanites. Since May 2015, Bangladesh joined its South Asian neighbors, India 862 million and Pakistan 122 million on the list of countries with 100 million or more mobile phone users. The other countries on this list are China 1 billion users, Russia, Brazil, the United States, Indonesia, Japan, Germany, the Philippines and Nigeria. Okay, so that's all about the two very important items, the artificial heart and cell phones. So okay, in my next class I am going to ask you some questions on these two paras. Okay, so be prepared for these two para. I think you will go through the text again and again, twice or thrice you will read the text. And cell phone means what? Mobile phone. And artificial heart means what? The heart, when it is damaged, then the scientific heart can be transplanted. And more questions will likely to come in my next class. Till then, I am bidding you thanks for keeping patience on this class, and hopefully you are going to take up a good preparation over these two paras the artificial heart and cell phone. So that's all from me, and thank you once again for attending the class. Thank you.